have some problem with the internet issue, but no worry. I think we can play one interesting roll call. You don't need to stand up. Then you just sit on the chair, sit on your chair. And then you can also do it. I think it's from Australia. So NJ, I think you know that your success is roll call. Let me share the screen here. Okay. I think, wait, I think interview is a bit better. Okay, yeah, so you can just, okay, then I can play some roll call and you can get in.
On roll call, you don't need to stand up, so it's perfect for Zoom calls.
Have fun.
Me and Sam in the car, talking about America, heading to the wishing well. We've reached our last resort. I turned to him, said, man, help me out. I fear I'm on an island in an ocean full of change. Can't bring myself to dive into an ocean full of change. Am I losing touch? Am I losing touch now? He said, what a terrible time to be alive if you're prone to overthinking it. What a terrible time to be alive if you're prone to second guessing it. Hey, pretty smiling people, we're alright together, we're alright together. Hey, pretty shining people, we're alright together, we're alright together. We're alright together, we're alright together. We're alright together, we're alright together. Took it in turns to dream about the lottery and what we might have done if we had entered and had won. Then we're each convinced that nothing would have changed. But if this were the case, why is it a conversation anyway? Are we losing touch? Are we losing touch now? He said, what a terrible time to be alive if you're prone to overthinking it. What a terrible time to be alive if you're prone to second guessing it. Hey, pretty smiling people, we're alright together, we're alright together. Hey, pretty shining people, we're alright together, we're alright together. We're alright together, we're alright together. We're alright together, we're alright together. Don't we all need love? The answer is easy. Don't we all need love? The answer is easy. Hey, pretty smiling people, we're alright together, we're alright together. Hey, pretty shining people, we're alright together, we're alright together. We're alright together, we're alright together. We're alright together, we're alright together.
Okay, thank you. Like NJ, your team like record these like the roll call. You don't need to stand up. So really amazing. And Prel, can you hear me? Everything well from your side, Prel? Hold on. Okay, I think Preo, I think you're muted. Can you hear me? Sorry, this is what usually happen in the virtual session because some technical issue or some problems. But no worry, let's wait for a little bit because there we'll have this session. Yeah.
Hey people, really sorry. There was an issue with my internet. I don't know why. Can you guys hear me? Can you hear me? Hello? Yes, okay, cool. Perfect. I don't know. Just for this conference, I changed my internet to like a fiber internet, which is supposed to give me like 100 Mbps and stuff, which was giving me fine till 15 minutes before session starts. So, but then it's now currently not working. I don't know why. If just in case if you guys can't hear me in this particular case, just let me know or type it in the chat if I'm very laggy or yeah, everything can happen, will happen, right? Murphy's law. Yes, sir, I'm in India. It's Airtel. It's actually like a 40 Mbps plan, but it constantly used to give me like 100 Mbps internet. I was like, okay, they're giving me more. I don't know. I checked everything, and now I just recharge my phone with the hotspot and stuff. So I hope this works. Please bear with me. Just in case if you can't hear me at any given point in time, just let me know. Okay. Cool. Let's start. Since we are in AP time zone, first of all, let me welcome you to the MCP pre-meeting day 2. When the whole world is celebrating the external day, we are still in pre-meeting since the AP agenda is running one day later. So like from global prime time, it will the external day will start. But today is the second and the last day of the pre-meeting. Welcome everyone for day 2 of the day 2 of the pre-meeting. Sorry people for the delay, and I will be there with you for 1 hour for the session called My Support System Last Sprint, #My Legacy. Okay, so when they gave me the session, the expectation was to make sure that, okay, let the agenda manager told me, bro, you need to tell MCPs no that you have 150 days left to get your shit together and get stuff done. This is the last sprint, and you you need to tell them to do whatever they want to do, but like we can do it together and stuff like that. So I was like, okay, let's do this. So this session is going to be very simple. I need a lot of sharing and I need a lot of inputs from you, and I need a lot of it's going to be a lot of self-reflection and stuff like that. So yeah, let's do this. My support system last sprint. Hi, this is me behind the screen. If you guys can still see me, here are MED AP. Follow me on Insta, my personal goal. So in this particular session, okay. So what you may take back from this session in the next 45 minutes or so is this. First thing, reconnect with your why. Second thing, inquiry to unblock your creative genius. So I will be telling you directly here. I was reading this book, and this is like, I would say this was my book of the month. It's called The Artist Way by Julia Cameron. It's like a very famous book. A lot of artists use it. It's a book about a spiritual path to higher creativity. And I thought, like, when I got the session, it was talking more about like how to create a lot of things, right? You just have like 150 days left to build a legacy, to create something which you always wanted to create. Since this is evolving a lot around creation, so I thought we will do some inquiries about what is blocking and how can you unblock your creative geniuses. Discover your legacy. How do you want to move forward with creating your legacy, and what do you want to be your legacy in this entity, in your MCP term. Next, last but not the least, some tips on building the support system. Like how do I want the MCP commission to be the one support system which you always have. Okay, so let's start with this. I'm gonna ask you this question, and let's start with the question. Who was the first MCP you met? Like you joined ISEC, maybe your first national conference, maybe your first ever ISEC meeting or something, who was the first MCP you met? Throughout the session, I want a pen and paper with you. Sorry. So before you answer the question, just go somewhere. If you don't have a pen and paper with you, I'm going to give you like a quick 30 seconds to grab a quick pen and paper and just write it down. Okay. Who was the first MCP you ever met? Okay. Did you write it down? Yes. Okay. Iris, GPS. Oh, nice. You're gonna meet him soon today. Juby. Nice. Okay. Interesting. All right. What about the rest of you? Yeah. By the way, we are missing a lot of MCPs here. Where are other people now? Okay, cool. No worries. Okay, cool. Jesse, Eric, Dina. Interesting. Cool. Then the second question I want to ask you is this. What were your first impressions about the role of MCP? You know, like you must have met them in a conference or in a conversation or somewhere where like you were inspired, you were like, oh my God, MCP, bro, this is what I want to be one day, or like, bro, this is what it is. Like that sort of a passion and that sort of a persona the MCPs had. Like I know in India, though, we used to worship like MCPs as a god, some creature from another planet who is there to who is like a reincarnation of some god, and like Big Mom. Okay. Remember, I was is he even human? Whoa. He was an EP. Oh, that must be a fun story, Beck. I remember him scolding us. Oh my God, same. Yes. Right. Then the next question I want to ask, you all recall that moment, right? Where you met like your first impression as an MCP. And the next question I would want to ask you is this. Which MCP you ever met throughout your ISEC journey inspired you? This is a bit deep question. You can remember, take 30 seconds, write it down. Who inspired you? What was the inspiration about? Johnny, Jack, RDM. Yes, very inspiring people. Vaughn, Hillary, Xiaomei. Interesting. Dima, MCP Russia. Okay, nice. Hi, Sadiq. Dima as well. Okay, cool. Nice. Good stuff. What interesting. Yes, Hima is very inspiring, bro. Like he did a term abroad, very lot of difficult situation. Interesting. A lot of popular people. Cool. What was that inspiration about? Like what about them inspired you, or how did they inspire you? Can you just recall that moment and maybe note down a couple of points? Where did that inspiration of that role came from? Does anyone want to share? You feel free to unmute and share this like an open space.
I can go. Just a very quick one. Yeah. I was meeting Linda and Xiaomei in APLS back then in Nepal. Then I was thinking about whether I want to apply for MCP or not. Then I asked them, why do they apply for MCP? Then I was expecting a lot of fancy answer, right? Then they helped me that, oh damn, don't you think that it will be super excited that you can have 1 year do whatever shit that you want? Then I was like, wow, that is just very simple but also true. Yeah, I think that's it. Yeah.
Interesting. Anyone else? Like before you all knew, like before you came on to the MCVP role and before you know what exactly MCA is and the amount of shit we go through, like MCP position was like a sacred, right? Like, wow, this is something I want to always get or something. And that inspiration came from. Okay, I'll move on. Then the last question I want to ask you in this category is this. Whatever inspired you to be MCP, you decided and you chose to be here, right? You wrote something called a letter of intent, hopefully, and applied for this. So the quick activity I wanted to do with is go back to your MCP application, go back and read the letter of intent you wrote to apply for this role. Or like if you didn't write, or if you did write, and read the answer to the question in your MCP application. Why MCP? And I'm for sure every MCP currents, they must have put this question in the application. Why do you want to apply? What is your intent? What, right? Like whatever inspired you to be in that particular position. Oh, nice. Yeah, I remember. Nice, nice. I did give Sadisha a frame. Like all the applicants who were applying back then. Just go back and I'll play like a quick one song. Okay, go back and read that letter. That's what I wanted to do. Not 10 minutes, but I think I'll give you one song. Go back and read your intent.
Can you mute yourself for the time, please? Thank you.
I see most of you are done. Okay. After reading what was your why, like after meeting the inspiring MCPs, after recalling what your first impressions were about the role of an MCP, reading your intent of why you wanted to apply, what did you remember after reading the letter? Or what did you have laugh about? I saw Karan correcting his grammar. What did you reconnect it with? What I wanted to do is share your thoughts with each other. I'm going to put you into breakout rooms of 2 people. 3 people is a crowd. Okay. So how many people do we have? 3 CCs, 13. Okay. So I'm going to put you a breakout room of 6 people. 7. Assign automatically. Share it with each other. What did you feel after after reading your letter of intent? Okay, I'm gonna put you into breakout rooms for 7 minutes, and in 7 minutes we will come back. Time starts.
Excuse me, Prayog. I think Casey is Casey is the only one in her room.
Hey, can you assign me to another room because I was alone?
Tisara, you can pause the recording right now.
Hey, who?
Hey
Who was
who?
my
What
partner?
happened, Ima? Hey
Who
who?
was my partner?
I'm
Who was
very
the
happy.
CCTV?
Love wow.
Yeah.
I got the same room with Ima.
All
Yay.
right.
Sexual
What
harassment.
the fuck?
Dream come true.
I think that was on purpose.
Right.
Where is the
I hope
global
it was
ethics
decent
of
topic
love?
for
Sense
discussion.
it.
Yeah,
Everyone
I was
back.
asking who was the CC.
Still coming back. Okay.
Funny.
Right. Is everyone back? Can only see 6 people. 7. Okay. You guys can still hear me, right? Hello? Okay, cool.
Hey, we can hear you.
Amazing, cool. Most of you are back. Okay. I just want like a quick 1 or 2 people sharing. What did you guys share with each other? What were your thoughts? Like before beginning of your term, what are some of the things you're most excited about? What do you want to create? What was your intent overall for applying for MCPs? I will take quick 2 sharings. Who wants to go?
I can go. Okay, so like for me, I was sharing that when I first applied, there were 2 words that made me want to apply. The first one is ownership, taking ownership of Isaac in Singapore as a local, to take ownership of my own entity. And number 2 is about sustainability, because I wanted to, because I was from a 1920 team. Oh my goodness, I'm so big. Yeah, I was from a 1920 team, and then like I wanted to make sure that the things that we did in 1920 gets carried on to 2021, and this is also the start of a new midterm ambition. So I wanted to make sure that we are able to have a strong start so that we can bring this forward to the next few generations. Then when I was reading my application package, I think I'm rather like, it was a nice reminder. And what I realized is that I'm pretty much kind of on track. But at the same time, like, you know, when you're writing your application package, you have big dreams and like you have like your vision, your mission and things like that. And I realized that like to a certain extent, like we did try our best to work towards that. But at times, like I feel like we haven't really achieved it entirely yet. Yeah, and it might not be something that I can achieve it only during my term. Yeah, so that's the sustainability part, I guess.
Thank you for sharing. Over to you, Phoebe. Go, Karan.
No, I was just doing yeah.
Okay. Does anyone else want to quickly share? Go ahead, twice.
I can share. Can you hear me?
Yes, sir.
Okay. I only share the funny part so that we can move on. So this is the first time I was reading my application after I ran. So when I submitted, I was like, nah, I don't have the balls to read it. But then the first time I read, I realized that in the main answer, you know, why you're running MCP, actually half of the words got cut. I never realized that. And then now everything is becoming clear, my interview and everything. I don't know how I still got MCP, but yeah, that was a weird, embarrassing realization. That's me.
Did you even write so stuff? Like all assignments and stuff. Okay, cool. Weird realization, nice laughs. Just want to hold on to this thought. Just want to put it out there. Okay, we all wanted, like we had all had, as we were mentioning, different dreams, different ambitions. So we wanted to create a ton of stuff, had different intentions, but it ended up being what has happened in the past 200 odd days so far. Right? Just wanted to hold on to this thought, or just ponder upon this thought: is what would I do if I didn't have to do it perfectly? A great deal, then more, or like a great deal, then more I am currently doing. Like you all wanted to do it perfectly. You all wanted to create a lot of things. You all wanted to do a lot of things with the time given, because you understand it's a very limited time. But a lot of times we tend to not let our full creative genius play in way and try to be more perfectionist, try to control a lot of things, try to come up with the strategies which you know are going to have like a good outcome. Like we all have good intentions, but at the end, like a lot of times this perfectionist, or a lot of times the situations around us, a lot of times that want of doing things perfectly, or like in the way you want to do it, that holds you back to do a lot more things than you could have. That's sort of a thing I want to mention. Just hold on to this thought in the back of your mind. Just don't, just put it back there. Okay. And then I want to affirm something which I've learned and which I believe to be true, not just after reading the book, or not just after talking to a lot of people, but this is something I truly believe in, is this. Like, we are all creative geniuses. Like, we are here, we took up this role because we want to create something meaningful in the world, right? But it's just a matter of uncovering and nurturing that creative genius within you. Like, what do you want to create? Like, we all want to put a dent in the universe in our own way. We are looking at this MCP term as just one of the means, or just one of the intermediate steps towards the ultimate something which we want to do, right? Because we want to create something meaningful, the artist within. Like, this Isaac is probably just a playground for you. Like, just like, this is something which I always say, like a blank paper or a playground where you can build things from whatever you have. Now you have a strong team with you. You have a brand which is more than 75 years old. You have all the resources, or don't have much resources because of a lot of things. But then you have the resources with you to do whatever you want to do, create whatever you want to create. And this is just one creative process. Like, the way I look at an MCP term is a 1 year experience created for you to create anything and everything you want to create. Like, you are the ultimate responsible, and you have the ultimate say in what happens in your entity. I mean, of course, there are rules and boundaries and stuff, but then at the end, how you unleash your creative you, or artist within you, that will enable you to do something meaningful in your entity, and this will be a stepping stone to do something greater in your life later also, right? But a lot of times we hold back that creative genius. So a next quick exercise I want you to do is one of my favorite exercises from school, is fill in the blank. This was a short 5 minutes, 5 marks in a 2020 exam set. Like, this was my favorite one because it just easy to copy, easy to kidding, but it's like a very easy exercise. Okay, I want to fill in the blank now. Serious. I'll put like 3 to 4 questions here on the screen, and I wanted to write down very sincerely. Okay, cool. My first question to you is, I beat myself up because. As a kid, I always dreamed of being. currently I am taking a greater interest in. And the last one is, I believe I am getting better at. All right, cool. That was the test, guys. 4 out of 4. Who got all the marks? Okay, cool. Who wants to share anything which they wrote down? Which means I want to ask you as possible. Karan already shared a lot in the group. Air Force and stuff. Oh, nice.
I can share.
Go, Ima.
Okay, so recently I've been into so I attended this workshop. This is outside of ISEC, and it was more on managing difficult conversations and effective communication. It struck me because I think in the different changes that we do inside and outside of the organization with, sustainability and other issues that are happening in the world, we tend to change people and we tend to say what they needed to do when in fact we have to go inside or like look into ourselves on how we see certain issues. And that was sort of like a changing um sort of like a changing, how would I say this, um uh changing experience for me, because I realized that in a lot of times when we feel really I'd say strong for a certain issue, sometimes we forget that people come from different backgrounds, they come from different beliefs, upbringing, and with that it also affects how they perceive different things. And I think it takes really like a strong self-awareness to be able to think of how we see other things and understand where other people are coming from, and with that also invite them to also listen to what we're going through or how we see things in order for us to sort of like compromise. So I feel like for me, I'm taking a greater interest in effective communication and how that also affects social change. So yeah, that's it.
Right. Thank you, Ima, for sharing. You didn't share what you wanted to become as a kid.
Oh, me?
Yeah, just curious to hear.
What I wanted to,
Like,
what is
as a kid, what did you dream about?
Oh, I just put I wanted to be extraordinary.
Whoa, extraordinary. Okay, cool. Nice, nice. Not judging. Nice.
Yeah.
Does anyone else want to share? One person, quick, chop, chop. Going thrice, going
I
twice.
can just mention something. Like I think about the fourth one. So I think like just reflecting upon it, I believe I'm getting better at being kinder to myself. Yeah, because what I realized is that I didn't know And I think it was a realization recently that even though like I'm very positive on the outside and I always reaffirm others and encourage others, but at times I can be quite harsh on myself inside. And I thought it was like a norm, but actually like I shouldn't, I should change the way that I talk to myself. Yeah. Yes,
Nice.
go.
Okay. So actually, I just want to mention a little bit something regarding to the first fitness blank that I beat myself up because. So actually, this is also reflect me back to what the previous one as well when we were reading our LI as well. So actually, in that LI, we were like a very ambitious, very excited, and very positive on what we want to do to our identity and stuff. But then like when we were applying for MCP, right, we were expecting COVID to happen and stuff, and it's actually make us like to let go of our dream and the thing that we want to do in our identity to focus on something else. And then but to me personally, like I beat myself up a lot of time because of I feel like what I'm doing right now as an MCP is not good and it's not enough for the identity and for what I want to do and for what I envision my identity to look like in during my term and after my term as well. And a lot of time I beat myself also on how I manage my team as well. It's like, yes, all of us always wanting to ensure that the team and us and everyone and in our identity having good experience, they are able to develop themselves and stuff. But then this is not exactly what you want to see or what you envision to see. So like you blame yourself a lot, you're being harsh on yourself, you being too hard on yourself and stuff. So yeah, so that's me. But yeah, thank you. 안녕.
Thank you for sharing that. I think very important point you mentioned, like we beat ourselves with like these two questions. If you see, first two are like what you were, and next two are like your present tense, right? But they determine a lot about how you've grown up, what we think, like how we have suppressed systematically our creative geniuses on creating things, and how like most of the time situation and everything they beat us down and not let like you're talking about fulfilling humankind's potential and stuff, right? Let's start with us, like big thing changing the world and all. Let's start with us first, because like your entity and your team and everyone is your reflection, right? That's why I'm talking about these things. But no matter what the situation, you wanted to create a lot of things. You're inspired by so many MCPs. You had like a great vision, intent. You had like a strong why of doing things. No matter what the situation happens, this is another thing which I believe is like we are not bored or we are not scared or tired or something, but it's just that we should be doing more things which set our soul on fire, right? What sets your soul on fire? Are you doing that? Are you doing more of it? Are you doing, how much of it are you doing? Are you like really feeling that aliveness while doing this term, or are you already like dragging it half-assed, like like that sort of a thing we don't want, because we're talking about these doing big things, changing people, leading so many people, but are we actually doing more things which set our soul on fire, right? Just a thought to ponder. Keep that in the back of your mind. You have 150 days. Okay, so the next question I want to ask you is this: with 150 days left, how do you want to support each other in making sure that you get the best out of the term as possible? Because trust me, after 150 days, all the respect, mature, MCP, blah blah, all this jazz that comes with it, it's gone. Poof. 31st July, that's it. 1st August, you're like you. This is something who was telling me this. PAI, Niels, he was telling me, oh, I am PAI, 70,000 people, they look up to me, blah, blah. Next day, I'm walking on the road in Navi Mumbai and nobody even knows. Like, that sort of a feeling and that sort of a thing comes in automatically after you end your MCP. So live the next 150 days for you and do more things which set your soul on fire. But the question I want to ask you is, how do you want to support each other, starting with yourself, in the next 150 days? Because one thing I want to tell you is like create a sacred circle with the people going through similar experiences as you. This AP commission or even your MCP commission, who they are going through a similar experience. Like COVID is for everyone. team managing is for everyone. Operations, everything which is happening in an entity, people are going through very similar experiences. So why not team up and not just go through it together? Because that will give you more power, more energy, more support system to get things done. You need a sort of support system to protect your creative genius. This environment, external things will always bog you down, but you need that external support. You need those mentors, that support system, which will protect the things which you want to create, which you always wanted to create, which you still can create, but you need that inner sacred circle. Hand on heart, okay, answer the following question. I'm not going to ask you to share, but at the end, we'll have just a quick exercise. Next 4 question, write it down. What is the legacy I want to create? What is holding me back from creating that? What support do I need and what support I can offer? I'm gonna give you 3 minutes. No, I'll give you like 3 to 4 minutes. Just end of this song, one song, and then we'll be done. We'll have sharing. right. Time's up. Cool. I'll ask you to share later, not right now. But yes, I want you to answer this question. After all of the things which you have written down here, so answer this. What is the promise I want to create? What is the promise I want to make to my entity? Like based on your legacy, based on whatever you want to create in the next 150 days. What is that one promise or two promises, whatever number of promises you've made for yourself that based on the legacy you want to create, or the what you want to do in the next 150 days, what you want to create in the next 50 days. What is the promise you want to make? And I want you to write it down on like a big piece of paper, like an A4 sheet or something of that sort. Just take a picture with it and post it. Okay? So write it nicely somewhere. I'm going to give you more time later. But then right now, what is that one promise you want to make? Just write it down on a piece of paper. And then I want your mugshot like this. Like you know what a mugshot is. Like put a piece of paper, write it down in big words, and I will ask you to post it. Cool. Just write that down. What I want to mention, like you can keep writing it down and put it at the end of the post, is that the two questions you answered in the back, right? What support do I need and what support I can offer? Basically, it should come from the people who are going through a similar experiences as you. It can be the regional office, it can be the fellow MCP currents, it can be the rest of the MCPs all over the world. It can be anyone who you think is going to protect what you want to create, is going to protect you from the harsh external truths and environment, is not going to let you down. It's going to give you positive feedback. So those are the people you should surround yourself with. And that's a support system, or what I call the sacred circle, right? That is something you should be focusing on. Who should be the people in this sacred circle? Is anyone who you think will follow the following rules. Is know that your creativity will flourish in a place where you will feel accepted and safe. Know that it will only grow among your friends and not with your enemies. Fulfilling the promise you make to your entity is a sacred trust. The people the support system which you will work with, or who is going to support you to deliver the promise of your entity, is going to be a close group who will follow this sacred rules. And they will give you a feedback based on strength, never on weaknesses. If you think you can find these people, know that they are your sacred circle. And you can look at each other, and there are people in this room who can help you do that. Okay? To feel safe, to feel accepted, to give you feedback, and to support you in fulfilling your promise to the entity. So now I wanted to share the promise which you made. What did you reconnect with? What did you find through the session? What did you discover? And what is your promise? So the promise sheet you made, just take a picture like this on a mugshot. You have time before the next session, I think a couple of minutes. Just post it on social media. Don't forget to tag Aro. It's not a trick I am playing to increase the followers, but I really wanted to make a commitment. Okay, maybe there is an element. But the idea is, when you make your promises public, it holds you accountable, so that you know your whatever creative genius within you is holding you back. The question you answered, right? Like whatever is holding you back, that keeps you externally accountable to it. So take a mugshot of your promise to the entity in the next 150 days. The legacy you want to create, anything you want to build, that promise, take a mugshot and put it on the social media. Don't forget to tag this. Does anyone want to share? What did they find, learn, discover, reconnected with? That's the last slide. I think that's the end of the session. Who wants to share? Go.
I think I can share. So yeah, I mean, like in terms of legacy, let's say, yeah, Isaac, Kimmy, and our first month was pretty stuck with COVID-19, and now like the current situation and I guess, yeah, till the end of our term, basically we're gonna be affected by the what is that, the military coup, let's say. So basically our legacy is not the number, or it's not about the result, but it's more about the building, like of our system, our platform. It's more into like the long lasting or long-term impact must be able to be passed to the next term and the next term, so that the legacy of Isaac in Myanmar must be sustainable and it must be long lasting. And that's why my promise to for the until the end of my term would be definitely, I mean, Isaac in Myanmar must be strong enough and it must be relevant to the youth leadership or youth development, no matter what, no matter which kind of situation we are in Myanmar. So this would be totally the promise of myself. Yeah. Thank you.
Right. Thank you for sharing. I will read your post on the social media. Unfortunately, I don't have much time. Sorry for the technical delay in the beginning. I will see your post. If you have any questions, ask me. Yeah, that's it. Pretty much about it. Read the book. It's really nice. Artist's Way. And your next session is with Koni, which is about my entity battles. So entering this session, know the promises you have made, know the legacy you want to create, know the things you want to create. It's with Koni, starting at 4:15 to 5:45. It's a 1.5 hour workshop. So go. Bye. You can stop recording and I will stop.